Welcome to the Let's Talk with Paula show, where we talk about all kinds of things. We have all kinds of people. In the next few weeks, we having Miss Chevalier. She'll be back on here in December. The songstress, is that what y'all call them? Songstress. She'll be back on the air. We have our special guests, and everybody's a co-host on this show because they come back more than enough. I'm the only one that pay though. But they're here, and so in their presence, it makes it interesting because people always talk about these men that I have on my show. Well, today, even though he's special and Ross is special, they're going to introduce themselves, but we bring you information, and we're going to do that tonight, and then we're going to salute a gentleman that's sitting here that you see him all the time because Veterans Day just passed, okay? And I do want to acknowledge that again and what's special that came on about him as well. But we have our loan modification man here that can give us some information about that. So I'm going to have Commander Eggleston introduce himself first, and then I'm going to have Ross introduce himself next. How about that?
All right, well, it's always great to be here with you, Paula. Commander Charles Eggleston, Military Order of Purple Heart. And as usual, we always have a great time because we do real talk here on your show.
And I salute you.
Salute you,
I'm so glad to have you here because they just asked me, where's Charles? I said, well, he's floating around the country, you know. So and he always asks about you, right? So introduce yourself.
I'm Ross Levin. I'm with Roots of Mankind. We're a nonprofit here in Prince George's County. We do first-time home buyer education. We offer foreclosure avoidance, as well as we work with veterans as well.
And you have an office that you just moved to too. I mean, because let me tell you, we go down south and we go up north, and now we're on YouTube. So, you know, you also have an office that's in Montgomery County.
We also have an office in Montgomery County as well.
So, you know, if you want us to add those in the credits later on, you can. You
Absolutely.
know? Because people all over this country are suffering.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, it's good that we're able to broadcast here, and we go far south, and we even go on Laurel, some parts of Laurel, that with Verizon. I can't say about Comcast, but I know Verizon, our numbers, zip code numbers, you know, kind of float further down and just instead of just buoy. So we do have a captive audience that we have that's kind of all over the place, you know, that we address always. I just wanted to bring that up since we are on YouTube now. If you subscribe, it's not a cost from what I understand, but what happens is that they tell me what the difference is if you just subscribe. If you put one name of the show, all of the shows will come up. Okay, I think if you put one name up and you don't subscribe, then that's the show you're going to get, and you got to kind of search around. So I'm just telling you that it's on buoytv.org, and it is, I gave it, one of our producers that are in here. That's where I turned and I looked at, hey George, how you doing? So I just wanted to say that too. So anyway, let's start with you, Ross, for a second, because we had talked about what's going on right now with the taxes and everything, that people need to be aware of what's going on.
Sure. So in Prince George's County, real estate taxes are due December 31st. To make sure that your viewers know that when they do get their tax bill, or pay their tax bill, should I say, to make sure that they review their tax bill to see that they're getting the tax credit for the homeowner's tax credit if they're eligible, as well as the homestead tax credit. That's important for your viewers to know.
And if you get your taxes paid through your mortgage company, you need to stay on top of that as well. You need to make sure when you get a monthly statement that you need to be looking at it and making sure that the taxes are being paid, because when you get your property tax bill, it tells you, you know, you either pay, I think it's quarterly, or you could pay it at one time, or whatever, monthly. But that doesn't come in with your mortgage bill, one separate. The county tax bill is separate. That comes in separate. They let you know what your property tax is, what you have to pay, and all that other stuff. And so if you miss that, you need to go back and look for it, okay? Whatever that figure is on that county tax bill should be the same thing that's on your mortgage tax bill for your county tax, correct? Did I say that right?
You did, but what you actually said, which was important, is that it's important for your viewers, for people that have mortgages, for them to go ahead and have your mortgage company do an annual escrow review of your mortgage payments to make sure that your real estate taxes and your homeowner's insurance are being paid, obviously monthly through the mortgage, through your mortgage payment, and for them to go ahead and do an annual escrow review, because you want to make sure that there's not going to be a shortage at the end of the year. So that you're paying monthly each month for your mortgage. You want to make sure that they're equal monthly installments, so that there's not going to be a shortage come the end of the year where you're going to have to make up a difference, or your mortgage payment could go up. And it's important when the real estate tax bill does come out for you to make sure that you have your credits, to make sure that all those credits are on there. And it's also important for your viewers to know that they can shop around and get homeowners insurance quotes from different companies, because just because someone's had a homeowners insurance company for 10 years, 5 years, however long, it's important for them to go ahead and get quotes from other companies, because they may be able to reduce their monthly mortgage payment.
No, I did not know that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that you said that, because that's something that I needed to know. The other thing is, like you said, you should get an assessment so you know. Now, on the property tax bill, it says that you are responsible, if your taxes are being taken out by your mortgage company, you are responsible for making sure that they get this notice, okay? They said, we're gonna send it to them, but you're responsible for to make sure that they got it. And also, when it comes to the Homestead Act, right? If you got a home tax credit, is that homestead tax credit? Did I say that right?
The homestead tax credit,
Right.
correct.
They say that they'll let them know that, but it's still up to you to let them know that you have a homestead tax credit. Now, I'm gonna tell you that I found that to be true, because I'm seeing that they increased my taxes, right? Right?
Yeah.
And I looked at the bill, which you taught me to do, to make sure that the bill was the same amount. If it went up to $7,000, let's just say, then it should say that on their bill as well. Now, what they did not have was the credit that I had for homestead, okay? And so when I said to the lady, well, I don't see it on my mortgage bill where y'all have said that I have the homestead tax credit. And I said, and that came out with the property tax bill, if you got it. You had to get it because I see that you assessed it, okay?
Right.
And she said, well, no, it's up to you to send us a copy of that bill, and so that we can see where it says that you do or you do not have it. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people, I'm saying this to you because I don't want you to make an assumption by reading your property tax bill, and then you're looking at your mortgage bill, and you think that you have that homestead tax credit, and it has not been applied after they made the assessment on the money that you're supposed to pay.
Right. You want to make sure that you have those tax credits on your tax bill, and that's why it's important for your viewers to go ahead and look at the property tax bill. There's a homestead tax credit. There's also in Maryland a homeowner's tax credit in Maryland. And then in Prince George's County, if your viewers, we had spoke about this back, I believe it was back in September, in August, September, where in Prince George's County for seniors, if they're, I believe it's 62 or 65.
I think you just read it was 65.
65.
Yeah, 65, yeah.
65. For seniors to apply for the elderly tax credit, and there's certain criteria that they would have had to they would have had to meet, and they would have had to apply for that, I believe, before October.
The 1st, you said.
October the 1st.
So I was listening to you when you was
I
talking to me.
appreciate it. At least someone listens to me. Thank you.
October the 1st. So
October the 1st.
Yeah.
So hopefully your viewers went ahead and applied for that. Those that those that qualify for it, that you could have applied online or through the mail. And then that's an additional credit that your viewers could get, because home ownership, it's every dollar count.
I know what I was going to ask you. It just slipped my mind for a second. I got that thought back. Okay. So I don't understand why the mortgage companies, because they work hand in hand. What your state gives you, if you have a homestead tax credit, if you have this other credit you've had, or if you get a 65, because it seems like they would send something, either the county, right, or the state, or whoever, where the creditors come to, would send you this information. If it's most of those things are for people that are 65 and older, okay? Not all of them, because some of them is about how much you paid for your house, okay, and how much taxes that you have to pay for. So it's a little different for everybody. But why is it that they don't send people out that kind of information? Because if I didn't know you guys, I wouldn't know, just like I didn't know about the other one, not the 65 and older, but it was another one that you mentioned.
The homeowner's tax credit based upon income.
Right. If you didn't mention that to me, you filed for one of them for me, but I didn't file for the other one. And that's a shame, because, I mean, that's another credit that I could have had, right? So why is it that the state or whoever, somebody should be responsible? They make sure they send you the bill, but they should be responsible to make sure that they send you on how you can reduce your mortgage, because this country's in dire straits. And anything that we can do to help our viewers, or anything we can do to help people to survive, I would think that we would hold our politicians, the people that are in charge in our counties, to make sure that the tax people for your county and your city are doing what they're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
It does, Paula, but what's important is that homeowners, when someone buys a home, that it's important that the homeowners know that they can go ahead and they look at their tax bill, and they should know that there's housing counseling available, housing counselors available, and also through the buying a house, they can speak with their real estate agent, and the real estate agent should know that they can go ahead and the home buying process, property taxes, homeowners insurance. They should know that they can do an annual escrow review of your mortgage, of your monthly mortgage payment with your mortgage company annually once a year, to make sure that the homeowner isn't blindsided with a higher monthly payment, because real estate taxes do go up, and of course homeowners insurance goes up, and you want to make sure that you as a homeowner are very prudent and make sure that you're budgeting appropriately.
I know when I was living in DC, they used to have a company that would assist people, and they would actually have counseling sessions. But before you even bought your home, you had to go through this counseling session with them in DC, and they would make sure that you got, I forgot what it was called now, it was so many years ago. They would make sure that you got a good mortgage rate, but you had to go through this counseling training first. And they would make sure that you would go to a good mortgage company. It wasn't anyone in particular they had. They were just trying to make sure that the homeowners were aware of the different things that, that like you said, they should know.
Exactly.
Now, I bought a few homes, okay? Now, if I had not lived in DC at the time, I wouldn't, and somebody else told me about that particular program, I would have never known about it, okay? And I was young at the time. So I don't remember all that stuff, okay? So when I bought, my other two houses, I wasn't at the age where I thought that I had to be concerned about one thing, and then it didn't have anything to do with age with the other one. But sometimes you have realtors out here more concerned about what their pocket is, that they don't really explain to you. And I'm not talking about, because I have good friends that are that sell real estate. But I do know that there are some that's more about what their bottom line is and what your bottom line is. And so they don't tell you all these things. And please start telling folks when they're out here buying houses, all these things that we're talking about. And if not, nobody ever told me until I met Donald Bell about going to a loan modification person, which he sent me to you. when I was trying to get, you know, my interest rate down on my home, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome, Paula.
And I've learned so much, and that's why all of us kind of stay together as a group,
Right.
because we want to make sure that you know, as our viewers, that, you know, if you don't know, you need to ask somebody, okay? You have to take into consideration that a lot of people that are in their 60s or older, and sometimes 50s, it just depends on what's going on with your body and your mental state, right? That nobody ever educated them. And then you got people that are in their 80s and 90s, you know? Nobody ever educated them on these other credits that are sitting out here, or going to a person to, you know, we try to tell you all the time about loan modifications, okay? And about the tax credits and things.
Right.
And so we try to keep you guys abreast, and I think that's why sometimes people approach me where I was, sometimes when I'm out in the street, they approach me about certain things, and I'm glad because I know you're watching, okay? Now, the thing that's going on right now is that they're advertising for the veterans, okay?
Yep.
They're telling the veterans that they have mortgages that they don't have to pay down payments. Is that right? Did I say that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and so tell us about those, because you got veterans out here that don't even realize that might have been in the service long enough that are still very young, and they're getting ready to buy their first home, but they don't know, if nobody sat down and told them
Talking about the VA loans.
that
The
they
VA
could,
loans, yes.
huh?
Basically, what you're talking about is the VA loans or the VA refis that go on. And they at a much lower rate. Like when I did mine, I think I got mine at 3%.
Oh, 2%. Oh, you go, guy.
Yeah.
But this is not a refi commercial.
No,
that's
you're
coming on.
talking, Paul, I think what you're talking about is you're talking about for veterans where they can get 100%
First-time
loan,
buyer.
first-time home buyer.
First-time home buyers.
First
I'm
time,
talking
even
about.
second-time home buyers,
Yep,
veterans
absolutely.
can get up to 100%. They can have 2 VA loans, of course, depending upon their situation, depending upon what their eligibility is, okay? And veterans can also, there are a lot of different programs, they actually can pay off debt to be able to qualify. The seller can go ahead and pay off their debt to be able to qualify for a loan. So the VA loan, because someone's a veteran, there are lots of different ways to get a veteran into a home with literally no money down.
And this is the commercial that I've seen just in the last week or so, probably because of Veterans Day. And once again, I salute all of you and happy Veterans Day, belated Veterans Day, okay? I salute all of you and everybody that protects and serves, from our police officers to our, ambulance people that are out there, hospitals, anybody that serves in that capacity to make sure that we're safe and that we're healthy. So I take my hat off to you. If I see you and you have anything on you that looks like that you're in some kind of service, I will salute you in a heartbeat, okay? Because I respect you, my family members, female and males, are military people, and I just feel like it's an honor to be in your company. Okay?
I agree. I mean, because these guys and gals, or these people as a group, they always lay it on the line. I mean, that's why I always thank my policemen. I definitely thank my firefighters, even my lifesavers, such as the paramedics, and all these good guys. You just can't do without them, and it takes a special person to be able to hold on to that for any length of time.
And then some of them actually got their training through the military.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I mean, and so when they came out the military, they could automatically get a job. My uncle came out; he was an MP in the service, but he was able to. He was a firefighter in D.C. for a long time. He became a fire chief. And he's retired now, right? But I mean, I'm just saying I respect the hell out of him. But the picture that I liked that I used to see him in was the one with they have it in his house. It's the one with his MP uniform, because he has a white hat, right? And it says MP, And I have a female cousin that's young. She's about, I ain't gonna say how old she is, because she'll get mad if she hears me say it. But she's young, and we used to, I told y'all this story once before, that we used to ask her, what did she do, in the military? And she said, if I tell you, I gotta kill you, right? And after she got out the service, she came and she showed us all these pictures where she was holding these weapons and stuff. I said, oh, you wasn't playing, right? She said, no, I wasn't playing with you. But then she finally told us what she was an IT tech, where she would sit up on the hill.
Yep.
And you, like, let's say for you, you needed to know where is it, if I'm saying it wrong, correct me, where it is that she needs to point to, or how the velocity of what the wind is before they shoot. And she was the person they would be communicating to, that they were down on the ground on the truth. So she told me that a long time. Did she tell me the truth or what?
It's a little more.
I might have got look. She probably.
She's like she's almost like an electronic meteorologist.
Okay.
And I get tongue tied when I say certain words in a way.
And that's me too. You're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me
So
too.
she didn't tell us everything, but you know, she said, "I'm gonna tell you only what I can tell you because I'm not in the service
She was the
anymore."
#1 person at the range, because a range
Okay.
can't go hot
Okay.
unless we know which direction certain winds are blowing at what time, pressure and all that. Pressure always bringing a lot when you're at certain ranges. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, so that was a very, for a female, I would think that was a very stressful job for her to have as well, because now
Could've
she's
been.
responsible for giving you right information to make sure that you're doing the right thing down there, you know, that's going to save your life or even get you killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so all of you do that though. You know, I'm not going to just point that particular job
It's a
out.
team. It's a team.
It's a team, yeah. And so I like to say this to you, that I did watch the special that you were on, and then plus Ross had seen the commercial as well, and he was the one that told us that's Bob Woodward's special. He said it.
It is.
That's Bob Woodward's special that Commander Eggleston is going to be on, you know, and we told him the date and the time and everything. And
And it's on Hulu right now.
Okay, it is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and name it what it's called. It's a name for it. You may pull
I'm
up-
tongue tied.
You may pull up my
Surviving the blast.
Yes, surviving the blast.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I guess I should know that because I survived the blast as well.
Yes. And you were actually in that special. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
honored to know you, because you just they're giving them all kinds of stuff on their Ross. Every time I turn around, somebody giving them something, right, or have them going someplace. But for you to be on that special, it was an honor that they interviewed you, and you know, they did. And then at the end, what really impressed me was that they had you go meet him. And I don't know whether y'all were at the White House or whether y'all were at some military place.
No, it was
or
in New
something.
York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you went in and he gave you a hug and you gave him a hug, and,
Yeah.
and I thought that was very, very special.
Yeah, because we haven't seen each other since Walter Reed, pretty much.
And the other guys, that they had talked about them a little bit,
Yeah.
but they honored you. I thought that was an honor for you to end that show with him.
Yeah.
Because they could have picked the other cameramen, right? Which they did talk about before the show ended, but they could have used them to come into the room and embrace him and say good night, you know. And that's such an honor. It's so special just to be in your presence. I just say I'm in awe. Okay. The
I'm
thing
in awe
about-
to be with you. That's
well,
that's the
well,
that's the
we're in
key.
awe. I'm in awe to be with him.
That's it.
And
Thank you, Paula.
as well. And if I had not known him and Donald Bell, you know, with keeping me abreast of things, you know, my mortgage probably would be ridiculous. I said it on the air how low mine was. I'm surprised it's yours that too, but.
Oh, because of him, probably.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you guys need to be careful out there, because right now mortgages are high, right? The
Mortgages
mortgage
are
rate.
high. Mortgages are high right
Stupid
now. They're talking about rates coming down in the spring, which is a good thing for first-time home buyers, because right now rates are high, but still rates are historically still low. I mean, I remember when rates were in the
13.
in the double digits.
Yeah.
So it's still, you know, rates are
Still in the single
rates-
digits right now.
Rates are still in the single digits.
Really?
Rates are coming down. They're supposed to be coming down. It's hard to say, but that's what the news is saying to us, or what we're hearing, should we say? But it's interest rates. Just because an interest rate is, whether it's at 8% or an interest rate's at 6% or at 3%, it's always a good time to buy a home, because you're not buying a home, right? Homeownership isn't, you're not buying for the interest rate, you're buying to own the home.
And for Donald Bill says all the time, Attorney Bill says all the time, it's a generational, it's a word he uses. He calls it generational wealth. And so you're not buying it for you, you're really buying it for your family to make sure that, you know, your heritage keeps on
Exactly.
and moves
You're
on. He
creating
says that
wealth
all the
for-
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're creating wealth for generations to come.
That's right. And
Exactly.
so I would say, though, that because that the veterans right now, that they are doing that commercial on television where they don't have to put any money down, because one of them says it's not a refi, it's getting them to buy. Like I said, it might have been just because of Veterans Day, that they were telling them that you, if you qualify, that you can actually buy a house with no interest down. But with no money,
down.
no money
No
down.
money
I'm
down.
sorry, no
I
money
like
down.
that.
Yeah.
No interest down.
No,
interest
now
down.
everybody gonna run
I
out
want
there and
that
say that.
one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean no interest. I meant no money down. Okay, so I still would say that just they have to need to go to some place to give them some education.
Right. It's important for your viewers to go ahead and get housing counseling. That's the thing, is that there's free housing counseling available. They can go to HUD.gov or they can come to go to our website, romkind.org. But it's important for your viewers to know that there is free housing counseling available. It's important. You had made a reference to whether you're a first-time home buyer. Doesn't make a difference if you're 18, 22, 32, 62, 82, 102. Age doesn't make a difference how old or how young you are. Housing counseling, buying a home, it always changes.
It should.
You can always refresh, always get free information, and get the information, because buying a home is important, and it's knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. I like that. So, you know, my veterans that are sitting out there, you know, and other people that are out there, you know, that are young enough and have the financials or the jobs that are able to, make sure you go to a counselor so that somebody can tell you those other breaks that you need to get to make your mortgage is low, okay? Interest rate is not the only thing, as we're telling you. It's other things that make your mortgage go lower. So you need to make sure you talk to somebody. And with that, I must thank both of you. I salute you. And I say thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
And we're going to say good night to these nice people over
Good night.
here.
Good night.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.